So you want to learn how to turn long podcast episodes into viral short clips. Whether you're doing it for a client, building a faceless TikTok brand, or just trying to grow a clipping page without filming anything yourself. I've been doing this for a while. I've tested a bunch of workflows. And honestly, with the right approach, you can consistently crank out clips that get views. In this walkthrough, I'll show you a practical beginner-friendly workflow, what to look for in a clip, and how you can make the whole thing way faster using smart tools instead of doing everything by hand. First, pick the podcast episode. I usually start on YouTube because it's easy to grab an MP4, and the platform's timestamps and comments are gold for finding moments people already love. If you're lazy, you can screen record on your phone and drop it straight into a mobile editor. But if you want cleaner quality, download the high-resolution file. A quick pro tip: if you plan to aim for platform monetization later, prioritize fresh episodes. Newer content has a better chance of getting qualified for creator programs. If you're just launching a new page, older episodes are okay to get started with, but think long-term and try to lean into current conversations when possible. Once you have the file, the first major step is transcription. Transcripts make finding those valuable hooks so much faster. You can use professional software transcription, mobile app auto captions, or an AI tool that spits out timestamps and speaker labels. If you're watching the original episode on a platform, also scan the comments for quoted timestamps. Sometimes fans will already highlight the best bits. If you follow a show regularly, you'll naturally spot moments while listening and can jot down timestamps as you go. Those noted moments become your absolute best clip candidates. Now, how do you choose the absolute best clip to maximize impact? Look for short, emotional, or contentious moments, a surprising fact, a quick story punchline, a bold take, or a high-energy laugh. Aim for that sweet spot of 15 to 45 seconds for platforms like TikTok and Reels. If a segment is longer but has a killer hook, you can trim the intro and start right before the actual payoff for maximum retention. Always save multiple candidates from one episode. Most podcasts have several sticky moments if you listen closely for them. Regarding the editing style, I like a clean, slightly stylized look that feels premium. Duplicate your full clip. Place one copy behind the main one and apply a heavy blur so the background fills the frame without distracting the viewer. It gives the short a cinematic, modern vibe and helps vertical crops look much more intentional. Add a small watermark with your handle in a corner so people know where the clip came from. This is about building a brand when clips get reshared, not about being edgy. Some creators overdo the watermarks, but I always advise keeping it minimal and professional. Titles and the initial on-screen text matter more than most people ever realize. The title card typically determines whether someone stops scrolling in the first second. Be clever, slightly provocative, or curiosity-driven. But the most important rule is never to lie to your audience. The title should feel like a headline that invites a click, but always delivers the promised value. Captions are absolutely mandatory for the casual viewers who watch with sound off, and those auto captions aren't always perfectly accurate. I always check and meticulously fix any obvious transcription errors before I hit publish on any clip. Place your captions strategically under the subject area so they don't cover faces or important background visuals. Incorporating B-roll or a relevant image behind the primary speaker can help with creator fund eligibility and make the video feel much more dynamic. I used to do half-screen gameplay or reaction overlays, and those clips often blew up for me. But that specific aesthetic isn't for every single creator. If you prefer a minimal approach, a simple branded background image or a relevant stock clip works perfectly well to enhance the scene. Also consider adding a subtle music bed to enhance the overall emotion. Funny clips can do well with upbeat tracks, but be very careful about music rights. Platforms can swap out your chosen audio or claim music rights, which occasionally results in confusing monetization outcomes. You usually get one chance to replace a soundtrack per video, so you absolutely must choose your initial audio wisely. If you're editing on desktop software, you get fine control over frame composition, clean typography, and detailed caption fixes. However, that level of control almost always takes significantly more time out of your schedule. Mobile editors are generally fast and perfectly fine for small batches of clips, especially if you are creating them directly on your phone. The main downside of all completely manual workflows is that they are incredibly slow. You still have to transcribe, find timestamps, chop, make title cards, export, and schedule everything. That is precisely where smart tools designed for creators completely change the game for you. Instead of doing every single step manually, specialized AI analyzes a long video, finds the most viral-worthy moments, and auto-generates ready-to-post clips. It is not some magic theater trick. What this technology does is profoundly smart and highly practical for daily work. The auto-editing feature will identify high-engagement snippets, create vertical crops, add captions, and produce multiple clip variants so you can A/B test which hooks perform better. This automation literally saves you hours of dedicated time per single episode you process. The auto-schedule feature is an absolute lifesaver. You simply tell the AI how many clips you want per week, and it will queue and publish them automatically. Say goodbye to maintaining endless spreadsheets or doing manual uploads at 3 in the morning to catch the right time zone. Finally, their content calendar lets you see all scheduled clips across every single platform in one central place. From that dashboard, you can tweak timings or quickly reassign clips if something topical and urgent comes up unexpectedly. For creators managing multiple shows or several different clients, this single dashboard management is massively underrated for sanity. Let's compare that manual reality to the tools. Premiere gives you ultimate control, but it absolutely eats your valuable time. Mobile editors like CapCut are fast for quick edits, but remain mostly manual and can be clunky when attempting any serious batch work. There are other AI clipper tools that do one thing really well, like auto-clipping or just auto-captioning, but then charge extra for scheduling features. Some competitive services are expensive subscription-wise, or they force you into very limited, often restrictive output formats. The smart solution combines auto-editing, robust scheduling, and a real content calendar for a creator-friendly price point, making scaling simple. A few practical posting tips. When you upload to TikTok, keep captions short but curiosity-driven. Always tag the source. Tagging the original host increases the chance they might share your clip with their larger audience. Use about 5 to 7 highly relevant hashtags to give the platform's algorithm the best possible direction. If the clip is funny, using a recognized meme soundtrack can work wonders because people respond well to familiarity. If it's educational or tactical advice, keep the original audio clean and consider adding only a very subtle music bed underneath. Also, make sure you schedule posts evenly throughout the week instead of dumping everything at once on a single day. Remember, true, reliable consistency absolutely beats sporadic, short-lived spikes in your performance metrics. One final creator fun consideration. Platforms are surprisingly picky about content that appears reused across many accounts. Newer podcasts and fresh takes definitely help with qualifying for monetization status. If you are clipping older episodes, that's fine for initial growth. But if monetization is your real long-term goal, prioritize current conversations. Smart AI can help by prioritizing clips from the newest uploads or flagging segments that are unique in phrasing and not widely reposted elsewhere. Finally, never be afraid to really experiment with the final presentation of your clips. I once used a very specific, almost playful tracking effect on a funny clip, and it unexpectedly caught a huge amount of attention. Make multiple variants of your best moments, one with captions only, one with music, and one with more aggressive zoom edits and quick cuts. You must let the platform's actual user data tell you definitively what kind of content works best for your specific audience. If you are managing more than just a few episodes a week, rely on auto-scheduling so your page remains consistently active without completely burning you out. If you want personalized help building your clipping strategy or want me to walk through using the AI on one of your actual episodes, please drop a comment or send me the link. I'll show you exactly how to configure the AI to pick the best bits and schedule them for the entire week so you can focus purely on scaling your reach instead of editing. This is the exact proven system that helped me move from tedious manual editing to a scalable, low-effort workflow that actually grows accounts reliably. Try batching just 3 or 4 episodes today. Let the AI generate your clips and then refine only the top performers. You will be surprised how quickly momentum builds. Now let's briefly discuss identifying truly viral sound bites, looking beyond just what sounds interesting to your ear. A truly viral moment often involves a strong cognitive conflict, where the listener has to stop and process an unexpected statement. Search for definitive statements that present a clear this or that scenario, as these are inherently shareable. When you see someone reacting strongly to something said, maybe they are nodding vigorously or shaking their head, that is your signal. Always chase the moment where the guest uses an analogy or metaphor that is incredibly easy to grasp quickly. If the host has to repeat the guest's point for clarity, that repetition itself is often a strong indicator of a golden clip segment. Don't neglect the energy shift. A sudden drop in vocal volume followed by a powerful whisper can be just as engaging as a shout. Beyond just picking, you need to frame the content effectively for each specific platform's unique audience behavior. For Instagram Reels, slightly longer clips up to 60 seconds can sometimes perform better if the payoff is worth the extended view time. YouTube Shorts favors extreme brevity and visual novelty, rewarding clips that get straight to the point in under 30 seconds. Remember that TikTok heavily prioritizes watch time percentage, so a very short, perfectly engaging clip often wins over a slightly longer, merely good one. When adding kinetic text, ensure the animation timing syncs perfectly with the spoken word for maximum emphasis. Try using subtle, slow zooms on the speaker's face during key phrases to guide the viewer's eye naturally. Always consider applying a slight color grade adjustment to make your clip content stand out from the standard low-effort edits. If the original audio has excellent quality, try producing one variant with absolutely no background music whatsoever to test pure message impact. Analytics tell the real story. Check the audience retention graph immediately after posting to see where viewers are dropping off. If you see a huge drop right after the first 3 seconds, your opening hook simply wasn't strong enough to keep them engaged. Conversely, if the entire graph stays high until the very end, you have an incredibly sticky piece of content you should repurpose immediately. Don't just post the same clip everywhere. You need to tailor the aspect ratio, caption length, and even the sound design per platform. This might sound like more work, but by using automation for the heavy lifting, you free up time for this crucial strategic customization. Think of the AI as your tireless intern, handling the repetitive tasks, leaving you as the director for creative refinement. A scalable system means you can process 10 episodes in the time it used to take you to manually edit just one. If you aim to build a faceless brand, the quality of your system, not your camera work, becomes the primary differentiator. Ensure your automated scheduling hits peak traffic hours for your target demographic in their specific time zones for maximum initial velocity. Never underestimate the power of a single perfectly timed cross-post to a secondary platform like Twitter or a LinkedIn story. When re-uploading content after several weeks, slightly alter the title and caption to give the algorithm a new reason to test it with users. Sometimes the best editing move is actually adding a quick, sharp visual jump cut every time a new idea is introduced to maintain listener energy. If your clips are designed to drive traffic back to the full episode, make sure the call to action is clear and visually present multiple times. Consider creating a separate, longer compilation clip once a month using the top 5 performing short clips as a value-added piece. This compilation acts as a high-value summary and satisfies users who prefer consuming longer-form content from your page. Your personal growth as a clipper comes from observing which specific edits and hooks resonate, not just how many clips you can physically produce. Embrace the data, trust the intelligent automation, and focus your limited creative energy on the narrative choices that only you can make. The future of content and promotion is leaning heavily into AI to manage volume, while humans handle the nuanced storytelling decisions. By adopting this streamlined approach, you transform content repurposing from a chore into a predictable, high-output business asset. Start small with one episode in one platform, master that loop, and then immediately scale that success horizontally across all your other shows. Remember that authenticity in your editing choices, even automated ones, is what keeps the dedicated audience coming back for more. If you can consistently feed the algorithm high-quality, well-timed clips, your organic reach will inevitably start to climb significantly. So take that hour-long audio file, let the smart tools do the groundwork, and go conquer the short-form video world this week.